Many cultures have formal rites of passage. Latinos have the quinceañera, Jewish people have the bar or bat mitzvah, Japan has the senjin nohi, Ghana has the dipo, and the Amish have rumspringer. The community stops and says, "You made it, you're seen, we celebrate you, you're becoming an adult." Unfortunately, due to our positioning in America, Black Americans didn't have a universal equivalent. In fact, for decades, we were barred from the one dance everyone else was doing, the high school prom. So, to come online and talk about Black prom traditions that have developed without knowing the history behind them speaks volumes into the psyche behind the obsession white people have with what Black people are doing.
It's prom season, which means one thing and one thing only: hood prom. Hood prom and baby mama culture are like this. You can't have one without the other. Because the reason why the dresses are so extravagant in the cars, in the show, in the presentation is because this is the closest these girls will ever get to being a bride. In the Black community, I'm sorry to say it, actually, no, I'm not, because it's the truth, especially in lower income households, there's not as much of an emphasis on family anymore. These why the dresses remind you of big, beautiful wedding dresses. These kids are substituting their wedding with prom.
Mayonnaise Barbie, please, not today. The obsession is so over the top, and I would be upset too if my prom looked like mayonnaise on white Wonder Bread toast and our prom looks like a whole buffet. But if you're gonna come online and be ignorant and racist, at least know the history of the place and the thing you're talking about. There have always been two Americas, a white America and a Black America. And Black American culture and traditions were created in spite of white people trying to erase us. From that, we developed every major aspect of American culture that's worth exporting, developed wholly or in part by Black Americans. And while we are building and surviving and creating culture, we do so within community with each other, and never ever think about white people or what white people are doing the way you guys think about us. Prom was created as a poor working class person's debutante ball. And even with being locked out due to classism, poor white people still found a way to build in racism. When prom moved from colleges to high schools in the 1920s, it was strictly segregated. Even after Brown versus Board of Education mandated integration in 1954, many Southern white high schools drew a line. They would share classrooms, but not dance floors. Instead of integrating, they canceled school-sponsored proms entirely, replacing them with private invite-only, white-only events. No oversight, technically not a legal violation since they weren't sponsored by the school. The result was two proms in the same town. The crazy part is that this is very recent history. In 1990, 10 Georgia counties still held segregated proms. In 1997, Morgan Freeman offered to personally fund an integrated prom for his hometown high school in Charleston, Mississippi. The school board said no. He asked again in 2007, and then they agreed, holding their first integrated prom in 2008. 2008, I was in college. They weren't even the last. Wilcox County, Georgia didn't have its first integrated prom until 2013. 4 students organized it themselves, facing severe backlash from their own community. I haven't seen a Black prom send-off. It's not just a few photos on the stairs before the limo pulls up. The whole block shows up. Neighbors, extended family, music playing, and sometimes a literal red carpet rolled out from the front door. The kid going to prom walks out like they're crossing a threshold because they are. In many neighborhoods, just making it to prom and just graduating high school is a massive accomplishment. So you don't just take a picture, you throw a celebration, you put them on a pedestal, you let them feel for one night what it means to be completely seen. This is why Black prom culture looks the way it does. Runway ready gowns, bespoke suits, families investing heavily into this single moment, not out of access, not because this is their only chance to have a wedding, but out of reverence. It's the quinceañera we never had, the bat mitzvah that wasn't a part of the tradition or allowed. A communal declaration that this young person has made it, and their village is making sure they know it. Started out as segregation, became a sacred tradition. What was designed to exclude birthed its own form of excellence. America tried to keep Black kids off the dance floor, so Black families built a coronation instead. And it's insane that you would say that the closest thing that these girls will have to a wedding is prom, when that's just not true, because Black people value family and community more than any other ethnic group in America. You ever wonder why Black people call close family friends cousins, or we call uncles and aunties who aren't our relation? Because of your ancestors, we were separated from our families during slavery. It was very traumatizing. And the PTSD of that made black culture revolve around your chosen family. So if you were close to people, those people became your family because your actual blood could be taken away from you at any given moment. Meanwhile, white people put their parents in nursing homes. You don't talk to your siblings, and or you just have one kid or no kids at all. So it's rich coming from you that you would make a claim that we don't care about family or community when our entire culture and our entire community is built on being communal and family. It will never cease to amaze me how black people are always the most ridiculed, always the most talked about, and people doing this are doing so out of pure anti-blackness, because I doubt highly she would make a video talking about bat mitzvahs, quinceañeras, or any other groups coming of adulthood or coronation type ceremonies. With that being said, stay black, stay blessed. Ciao.